Namaskar students, myself Love Ojha from Demonstration Multipurpose School, Bhubaneswar. Students, in the previous section, we studied about crop management, that is, crop variety improvement, crop production improvement, and crop protection improvement. In this session, we will discuss about animal husbandry. That means scientific management of animal livestock, and it is management of breeding, feeding, and disease control. It includes cattle, goat, sheep, poultry, beekeeping, and fish farming. We will see one by one. First one is cattle farming. Purpose of cattle farming is, first one is milk production, and milk producing animals are called milch animals. And second purpose is drought labor, that means plowing, tiling work, and they are called drought animals. First requirement is to increase the milk production. How milk production can be increased? It can be increased by increasing the lactation period. What is the lactation period? Lactation period is the lactation period. It is the period of producing milk after the birth of the calf, and many foreign breeds has excellent lactation period. But what is the demerit in them? They are less resistant to diseases. Then how this problem can be solved? Actually, some local breeds have excellent resistant capacity. They are resistant to many diseases. Then we can crossbreed between foreign breeds with local breeds to get the animals with desired qualities. For example, as you can see in the picture, Jersey is a foreign breed. It can be crossbred with or local breed, that is Red Sindhi, and we can get the desired animals of the desired quality. That means animals that will give, that have long and very excellent lactation period, and also they are resistant to diseases. Now feeding. As we know, cattle require feeding, and food requirements are of two types. First one is maintenance requirement, that is food required by the animals that help them to live a healthy life. And second requirement is milk production. That means this food is required for producing milk during lactation period, and these requirements are different. For lactation period, that means during lactation period, the animals require more protein, the food that are rich in protein and fats. And animal feed also include roughage. Roughage means the food that are rich in fibers and concentrates. Now, next one is disease control. Various diseases are due to various parasites and germs. and they can be controlled by preventive as well as curative method. One by one, we see what are the diseases and how or what steps can be taken to prevent the diseases. First one is parasites. Parasites are of two types: external and internal. External parasites causes skin disease, skin diseases, whereas internal parasites like worms causes various diseases to intestine. They affect intestine and liver. Then how they can be cured? Most important thing is by adopting preventive measures. As we know, prevention is better than cure. And cattle also suffer from disease caused due to various germs, that is bacteria and viruses. For that, we have to take necessary action to keep the environment clean. That means proper cleaning and shelter facilities, well ventilated roof shades, sloping floor, that is to prevent logging of water around, and it will prevent the spread of larvae of mosquitoes and other insects. And also time to time vaccination is required as a preventive measure. Now next one is poultry farm. It is a very easy and effective in India. It is actually raising domestic fowl or for egg production and chicken meat. Again, management require breeding, feeding and disease control. How? First one is breeding. It is cross breeding between indigenous, that means local breed, with foreign breed. As you can see in the picture, example is Asil. It is a local breed. It can be cross breed with leghorn, which that one is foreign breed, and then we will get the desired result. That means a fowl that has good number of egg laying capacity and also resistant to diseases. Next, egg and broiler production. It is management practices that include maintenance of optimal temperature, hygiene, and prevention and control of diseases. And there are difference between broiler and egg layers. What are differences? First, broilers. They are raised for obtaining meat, whereas egg layers are raised for producing eggs. In the case of broilers, they require conditions to grow fast and low mortality, whereas egg layers require enough space and adequate lighting so that they can lay their eggs in sufficient amount and in healthy environment. And food requirement. Food requirement for broilers and egg layers are different. In the case of broilers, as you know, we need meat from that. Therefore, in the case of broilers, the food should be rich in fat and proteins. Whereas in the case of egg layers, the food should be rich that are grains and comparatively less rich in proteins and fats. Now, next one is fish production. There many sources are there: marine, freshwater, and we obtain large number of fishes each year, and coastal people depend on it. and it includes finned troop fishes. That means examples are catching katla, rohu, etc. And also it includes shellfish like prawn. In Hindi it is called jhinga, and mollusks. Fish obtained by capture fishing from the natural sources like pond, sea, lake, rivers, and also through culture fishing, and it is called fish farming. Now you can see fish production, the sources of water sources, and water sources are marine and inland fisheries. And examples of marine fishes are tuna, sardines, Bombay duck, etc. And inland fisheries, that means pond, lake, rivers. An example of fishes are katla, rohu, etc. Now, for sustainable practices, we must encourage composite fish culture. Then what is this composite fish culture? It is a culture in combination with a rice crop. That means fish production with in a paddy field, and in this case 5 to 6 fish species is used in a single fish pond, and species with different food habits are selected. Then what are the advantages? Advantages are that food available in all parts of the pond is used. How? You can see the picture. There are three fishes, three layers. First one is top feeder, and top, in this area the katla, the fish katla feed and take food from this layer. Second layer is middle zone layer, and in this layer rohu takes its food. And third one is bottom feeder, and it is common carp. That means in this way we see that all parts of the pond, the food available in all parts of the pond is utilized by the fish, and it is very effective culture of fish culture. We get paddy crop as well as we get fish. And one more important thing, all parts of the pond, food available in all parts of the pond is utilized. Now next one is beekeeping. Advantages of beekeeping is it needs low investment. As we know, most people of India have not much money, and they cannot not afford much. Therefore, the beekeeping is suitable for them. And also, beekeeping is resources of wax. That means they can sell honey as well as they can sell wax. And desirable characteristics of a bee for honey production are good honey collection capacity, ability to protect itself from the enemies. Many enemies are there of the honeybee, like bear and other animals. They may damage their comb. Therefore, they must have the ability to protect themselves from the enemies. Now, common varieties of honeybee are Apis serena indica, Apis flora, etc. And also, quality of honeybee or honey depends on pasturage. So what is this pasturage? Pasturage. Pasturage is the flowers around the surrounding. And for example, in Kashmir, almond flowers are found, and honeybee collect nectar from these almond flowers, and this type of honey is considered to be excellent, very good, because this pasturage, that means nectar, is of good quality. And if the flowers found in surrounding is good, then the quality of honey will also improve. Now, we can conclude from this that scientific management of animal livestock like cattle, poultry, birds, fish, honeybee can be done through feeding, breeding, and disease control. Also, we discussed about composite fish culture, how all parts of the water source can be utilized. Next, we also discussed about the beekeeping and what is the role of pasturage to obtain the good quality honey. Now, practice time. Let us see. First question is, which method is commonly used for improving cattle breeds and why? What will be the answer? We discussed it. Teach cross breeding. Cross breeding for what? To get the desirable characteristics of features. As we have seen that we crossbreed between the local breeds with the foreign breeds of cattle to get the desired quality. Question number 2. What are the differences between broiler and egg layers and in their management? We had discussed it. Now, you can compare and answer it very easily. In the case of broilers, what is required, and in the case of egg layers, what is required. As I said, we require meat, then food should be rich in fat and protein, whereas in the case of egg layers it require grains. Second, recall, as I said, in the case of broilers, protection from various diseases is required, whereas in the case of egg layers, sufficient space and light is required. Next, question number 3. What are the advantages of composite fish culture? You can answer it very easily. What I said, in the case of composite fish culture, all parts of the pond is utilized, and for that 3 to 4 types of fish are selected. One are surface feeder, that means they get food from the surface part of the pond. Next one is middle zone feeder. They obtain their food from the middle part of the pond. And next, bottom feeder. That means this type of fish obtain their food from the bottom part of the pond. and also this pond is in paddy field. That means we get food, grains as well as fish, and each part of the pond is utilized by the fish, and these are the advantages of composite fish culture. Next question: what is pasturage and how is it related to honey production? We also discussed it. Pasturage are flowers of the surrounding area. If the quality of flowers are good, we get good quality of honey. I also said that in Kashmir, almond flowers are found in abundant. Therefore, the honey quality of this area is very good. So, students, we discussed about crop production in previous session, and in this session, we discussed about animal husbandry and how we can effectively do the animal husbandry by means of breeding, feeding, and disease control. These are the three main area through which we can do the animal husbandry management very effectively. Hope you have got it very well, and you do practice, you read the books, search in net, and I am sure that you will surely benefited from it.